Thank you for joining me today. This is going to be episode 3 of Hotel Stories, and these are going to be more wholesome stories. Uh, Things that have happened when I've worked in the hotel industry interacting with people at the front desk. So let's start right off with a very early example, which in which I was working an overnight, an audit shift, and it was winter. It was very cold outside. It was maybe, with the wind chill, about minus 20. And it was about 4:30. I was getting ready to start breakfast for the day, and I received a phone call. And I picked the phone right up, and the gentleman asked if he could check in. And it became rather apparent rather quickly that he was in a vehicle talking to me, but not a regular car. This sounded a lot like it was a large truck or something like that. And uh, he said, I made the reservation for later today. Technically, I don't know if you allow check-in before 3. And I said, are you next door? And he said, yes. And I said, get in here right now. It's cold outside. Come right in. And he was like, do you mean it? And I said, yes, I do. Get your butt in here right now. I'm not going to have you, you know, wait, what, 11 hours before you can check in. No, absolutely not. You can certainly check in right now. And he was very grateful, of course. He ended up writing us a great review mentioning me. And uh, he, again, in my philosophy has always been, if you have rooms to sell, you sell the rooms. And but now there's a catch, because this comes down to what your hotel's policies are. And if it's if you have a policy where you have to charge an early check-in fee, do you do that? Do you waive it? Do you have the authority to waive it? In this circumstance, we didn't have that. We had no early check-in fee. I had rooms to sell, and I was taught since day one, at that property, you have rooms to sell, you sell them. And I carry that philosophy with me, because you're a business. It's in your best financial interest to make money. Why would you tell this gentleman, who might end up canceling the reservation or requesting to cancel, that he can't check in when it's super cold outside? He was in his truck. Absolutely no. You do your best to accommodate people within reason. And minus 20 outside in his truck was well within reason for him to request a check-in at that time. I had already run audits, so what was the catch where I couldn't do that? No, I had every reason to do so in my book. So, very nice guy, and it was great helping him out. That felt wonderful. Um, and I told him, hey, look, uh, breakfast is at this time. Feel free to take a day to yourself, because I knew he had to spend at least 9 hours off the road, if not more. And he was headed up to North Dakota, so he needed to spend quite a lot of time off the road. And I said, look, I'm going to count your reservation as this whole day, so you don't have until tomorrow before you're set to leave, unless you want to stay longer. But he needed to get back on the road. But again, that was really nice to be able to do for him, and I was glad to do it. So that was a great experience for him and me. And a second story I have for you all, is one, again, in which it comes down to policies. And what you are able to do for people. Now, because I'm in a management position, there's a lot I can do. This individual tried to check in. She was not having a good day, I could tell. And her card declined. And she was like, oh my gosh, there's a fraud alert. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. So I took I have a softer approach for people like that. And I said, look, take your time. There's no rush. Do what you need to do. You can call whoever you want to. If you have any questions, you ask me. I'm always here. Like, okay. She got a hold of somebody. Her phone was about ready to die. So she was plugged it into the wall right next to my desk. And she nervously asked me, can so-and-so pay for my room over the phone? I said, absolutely. Now that's again where that's up to hotel policy, because there are some hotels wherein they are very strict about credit card authorizations for other reasons, which I won't get into in detail here. And I said, we can certainly do that. And read the card number off to me. Payment went through, good to go. And what I also decided to do, because again, I could tell she was not having a good day, she booked a standard room. I upgraded her to a suite, studio suite. She was very grateful for that. She was surprised, and I gave her 2 bottles of water. And I said, look, you're not having a good day, I can tell. I want you to have a restful experience here. If you need anything, you let me know. I'm here from these hours until these hours. She went on her way. She came back a couple hours later and was like, thank you so much for helping me out. I really appreciate it. And I'm like, look, I will do that for anybody who's, when I can, if I'm able to, the best of my ability, if somebody's not having a good day. I have a personal goal to put a smile on every guest's face that walks through my door. I'm not always able to do that, regretfully so, but I can do my utmost. And I did for this person, did the best that I could. So, as much as it makes the guest feel valued and feel nice, it also reciprocates back to me. And it's an incredible feeling. It's part of what drives me to do what I do every day. And I really enjoy it. I take great pride in being able to turn around problems that arise with guests during their stay, or even when they arrive. You can tell that they've traveled a long way, they're exhausted, they're tired, or something's just not right. They need assistance in some way or shape or form. It's great to be able to help people and do something a little extra sometimes, a little surprise. That's one way that you can get a repeat guest. If nothing else, they are extremely likely to tell other people about the wonderful experience they had, and that's just going to drive more business for you. So it's a win-win for everybody. So again, thank you for joining me today. These are, again, episode 3 of hotel stories that I have to share with you all. So thank you for joining me today.